let's see if someone joins.
Right.
Someone else joins and wants to go to do some things in MetPlus.
That
So
that Scrum, I suggested that it ought to be renamed to Pacific Rim and U.S. Scrum, because I don't think a lot of people in the U.S. and I know one of the reasons to revitalize that Scrum was that people in the U.S. felt there wasn't a good time for them to contribute. But if they're looking at some of this as Pacific Rim Scrum, they may think, well, that's not for U.S. folks; it's for Pacific Rim.
where did you put there?
Someplace in Slack, I think, probably general. I don't know, day or so ago.
Yes, I saw that and I thought, okay, I'm going to change that, but then life happened, and and I forgot completely.
Oh, no problem. I think I'm surprised we're not getting as much. I mean, we've got the course going on, etc. I would expect more people to start showing up, but it's been really thin.
Yeah, it's really strange. I'm not sure. I haven't talked with Sam to see how things are going in Atlantic, and I'm not sure what's the name of the other and the other scrum, because previously we had like 4 scrums, but currently we only are hosting 2 of them. We were hosting 2 of them. That was Sam, and we lost the other ones. The one from Pacific Rim, and there was another one. I believe it was more East Coast time. I'm not sure that we kind of lost as well. So I'm not sure if people from the US stopped coming to the scrums or what happened.
Yeah, I just know with all this activity going on, there ought to be a lot more people showing up.
Yeah, but it's strange. The 169 course, I don't know. We were still in week 1, the week less 1, I believe, or week 1. I don't know.
Or week 0?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the numbering scheme is either. But
from the moment that I had full access to the course, I just stopped knowing where am I in the week.
It is kind of hard to follow all the dates that are being thrown around there.
Yeah, because they are not there, and you just got like the whole course, and that's it.
Yeah. When things are going to be released. I think Sam was late in releasing to the students last week. I think he was.
That is strange because it auto releases itself the course.
Oh, it does?
Yes. So we maybe postponed it because there are still things open in Pivotal Tracker. 4 weeks even. So I'm not sure if what happened there, because I believe it shouldn't have been released without this because I needed to update the video.
Well, once we get into pair programming, the students in the MOOC course, and they start having to create Hangouts, they have to go to the Agile Ventures site. I suspect then you'll see a lot more people poking around the projects and joining a Scrum in the events page, and maybe we'll see more activity pick up then.
Yeah.
Just so they...
Because I'm telling you, it's like the first time that I see so little activity in the 169 course. But I believe we're quite full. I didn't look at the metrics yet, but I think we're looking good. Well, let's see how it goes.
How many people do you think are starting out?
I don't know. But I believe I heard Sam saying something about it.
Is it at 100,000 or more?
Let me check. Because there was one day that I looked around and saw that button that how many students we had. This studio is a nightmare.
So yeah, that edX platform has its own editing studio, huh?
Yeah.
Well, it's built in Django. What do you expect, right?
Yeah.
I have a friend who's a real Django ed fan, so it does pretty well. The platform itself.
Yeah, but I tried. I tried it. Um, first I started learning Ruby on Rails and everything, and then I said, okay, I always read in my previous role I was with Python. I said, okay, let me get to this Django thing, and I thought, okay, maybe I'll contribute to something like OpenStack or something.
Hmm.
And then I started looking at Django and said, come on, it's like copy paste from Ruby from Rails, but
Oh, it was?
pretty worse.
It didn't survive the translation, huh?
Okay. Uh, I don't know. I don't remember what I saw, but I remember I saw something around there. They have some metrics. They have some metrics page for the for the courses.
Sam told me that for every time there's a homework assignment in the MOOC, in the 169.x, only about 10% of the students go forward. So 90% of the existing students drop it at each occurrence of a homework.
Yeah.
So there's got to be quite a few starting out because there's quite a few who end up finishing, as we know.
Yeah, I think it's in. I believe the last one was in the hundreds of thousands. I think.
That would make sense. Yeah.
I believe it was something like that that started the course that can get the first videos or something, but then
Yeah.
we just start losing people. So
Yeah. When you get to a homework and you don't have time, that's when you got to make a decision. And like you said, only about 10% survive each homework event. So it's pretty brutal dropout rate.
okay, okay. I lost myself again. I was in here. So I was looking at what you said. Change the Pacific Rim Scrum and pair hookup to Pacific Rim /US. I just put an US there. Okay. Here, edit schedule and /US.
Yeah, that might that
Pacific
might bring in some of
Anime,
people.
yeah, Scrum and pair. Okay. Pacific /US friendly evening time. Okay, so save it and there we go.
Okay, great.
Okay, so
Good.
let's start to do things to MetPlus. Stop.
Yeah.
Wow. So Salim, you had a question. Shoot it.
Oh, okay. I just want to go, real quick over the what is this? The cruncher, the resume processor.
Yeah.
Just overview. Just explain to me. I went through it, but it makes sense. I just
Okay.
want to.
What do you want to understand? You want me to go into the code and tell you so this
No,
this
not
module
the
does this?
code. I mean the overview, just the general
So
overview.
basically, the Cruncher is a very simple web service that
Yeah.
will receive a resume,
Uh-huh.
and when it receives the resume, the file, it will read the file,
Uh-huh.
and it will crunch it with one of the multiple crunchers that we will have in the future,
Okay.
and then it will retrieve all the information for each cruncher or for the default cruncher that I still haven't thought about it much, and it will save that metadata into the database as well as the resume. So in the database of the cruncher, we will have a full resume
Uh-huh.
file and all the metadata associated with one specific cruncher and that document.
Okay.
Okay, so we have that database that stores everything from that has anything to do with the resume.
Okay.
Then we'll have another one or two web services. I'm not sure yet, but we will see with time. I believe it's not something very structural. that what we will need to do is when a job seeker searches for a job seeker, when a case manager searches for a job to a specific job seeker, we need to be able to tell the resume cruncher and tell him, okay, these are the skills that I have in my job. This is my job seeker, and get me the skills that he has. He retrieves that information, and then we try to pair it. Now that I think, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but just ignore this part. This is thought to. Let's roll back. Let's imagine we have an employer or a job developer that is trying to find a pool of job seekers to a specific job. What will happen is that we will have a web service into the resume cruncher that will receive all the skills that are specific to that job, and looking into the metadata of the crunchers, we'll try to retrieve a pool of resumes that match those skills. Okay, and it should do the other thing around that I'm not sure how yet, but given a job seeker, we'll retrieve a group of jobs. Okay. So basically, the idea is to have a separate place, because if we let's imagine that we have a cruncher that will rely on a subset of words, and let's say, I don't know, you have you're searching for a developer, and one skill that you have is I don't know, is a Ruby on Rails developer. But Ruby on Rails can be written in a resume in multiple ways. Can be like Node developer, Ruby on Rails developer, everything without spaces, or Ruby space and on space Ruby on Rails, yeah, with spaces, and that needs to be accounted for. So in the part of the application, you'll be able to change the settings and say, okay, if you see the word roar, or the sentence Ruby on Rails, or the sentence whatever, you need to join them. When these settings change, we will need to reanalyze all of the documents that we have, all the resumes that we have, and collect again all the information. Okay. So this was the main reason why it was split into a separate thing and to live in a separate space.
Oh, okay.
Because it will contain a batch that will be running. I hope not much, because I hope that the settings of the crunchers will not be changed a lot, but in the beginning they'll be refined a lot, and a lot of back-end computation will be made. So basically, this is what the resume crunchers do.
All right. Okay, makes sense.
Let's call it the database of the resumes. Okay. Any more questions? Nope. Okay. So, do you guys want to take a look into the ERD?
Sure.
Or do you want to look into the tasks that we have currently and try to, I don't know, set up the first draft of a sprint or something?
Well, before we do that, Hugh, I'd also just want to say that if you guys could take a look at the latest iteration of the roles and interactions document, which I changed about an hour ago, and see if there's any problems with that. Unfortunately, we don't have Git for that doc, so you can't see change upon change, but all of you guys were on Chet's the conversation with the client Friday, so you know what we talked about, and see if there's anything in there that I put in that didn't reflect that, please. We don't have to do it now, and we shouldn't, but...
That's what I was going to ask you if you want
to
look into it now.
No.
not? Okay.
I think we're in solid shape. We can move on to some of the things you just said.
Okay, so a question. From the to-do list that you made the other day, do you think we looked into everything?
Don't remember what's on there. Let me look.
Let me just share my screen.
Okay. All right.
So let us see.
Yeah,
Mapping the items. Yes, I believe we already did
yeah,
this.
we did that.
Review the client documents again to determine if any story are needed to be represented key requirements functionalities. I believe this is a topic that we already did, but we might need to revisit.
Yeah, I did it last week yet again.
Yeah.
I think we're in good shape.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe we'll finish with this one as well. Arrange the next client meeting. That's done. Aggregate all client questions into one document. So, were we able to do this?
Well, that's what you did when you sent that doc to Chet before the call Friday.
The website is correct today.
You know, I'm getting that a lot. That 500.
Yeah, there's something wrong. I was messing up the website and messing up with Amazon, I believe. I saw something wrong. So maybe there's something not 100%. Okay.
I got that when I tried to save my changes, and I thought, oh my God, I've lost my changes, and I've clouded the doc, but it all came back.
Yeah, nice.
I got the same thing.
So I believe we don't have questions here anymore.
I think we're in good shape, but again, everybody ought to review that one more time.
Okay.
Make sure we're in good shape.
And begin review of certain implementation architecture questions. Issue 53. We saw that already, didn't we? Or did we not?
Well, you know, we were thinking of, well, should we look at devise? Should we look at can, all that stuff, which I think you're right. The next thing we really ought to work on is getting that ERD solid. But maybe in parallel, we can start some other activity.
Is there a 53?
I think it was, what was it? It was 53, it said?
Yeah. There's...
There's
53. We have like 45. Check on GitHub.
Was it issue 53? There's a link there too. Where does it go? Probably goes to the old repo.
We have only 50 items. 48.
I'm looking at 53. Is this the old repo here?
It's possible. If it's not a tracker.
Oh.
Yeah, this one is the old one. If you click the issue, it go to the older tracker, not the new.
Goes to MetPlus _ pets, which I think is the old one. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the old one was. I thought we copied over everything automatically.
Yes.
But it got a new number.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So what the heck number is it now?
It's number 4.
Oh, number 4. Okay. Great. Let's see if I can find that waffle. Where's my waffle?
Over here. Implementation design. Okay. To have multiple roles in the system, we should be thinking about some alternative. Okay.
Yeah, we decided ERD is the first thing to work on there.
Yeah. Okay, so for now we're doing that. Set the second GitHub repo. Okay, that's done as well. Salim.
Yes.
When you can send me the your GitHub account so I can add you to the team so you can fiddle around with Waffle.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So I've got some ideas on things we can do. I think those of us on the team who haven't done any coding yet, you're the only one, I think, that have done anything. We need to catch up with what you've done in terms of coding and modeling, and that will also inform our review of the ERD.
Mhm.
So two things. One, we need to become familiar with what you've done in the code, especially your models. And I don't know if you need to change any of those models, given what we've learned. I suspect you do.
Nope.
What's that?
Nope.
No? Okay. And then we need to catch up with your ERD. I tried looking at your ERD, and I don't understand it. It's not a typical Ruby on Rails database structure from what I can tell. So
Basically, at this point, what we have created on the Ruby side, we have this table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have this table here. We
Well,
have this table.
Job
We have this one.
company.
This one. I think it's everything. Oh, you have the jobs one as well, more or less.
so, and I know I looked at the schema, and the primary entities are represented here, but just go to the top. That one right there, job seekers. What are these fields? Case manager ID, case managers, users, user ID.
I don't
Sorry?
know.
Is it because you're using a gem that? That's
Wait,
not how you'd normally represent associations in Rails, as you know.
I know, but the thing is, I never used MySQL Workbench, and what happened was when I created associations between models, between tables, it just brought all these little pieces here.
Oh, I see. Okay,
So
that
basically,
was
the things that you see here with the diamonds and the exclamation marks, they are imported from case managers table and then the name of the field. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove all of these because they are not needed. But I just started placing tables here and looking at what they had there and everything. I still haven't refined them.
Were you able to have MySQL go out, MySQL Workbench go out and create this ERD from the existing database schema? Does it know how to do that?
I don't know.
Well, you just built this by hand?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now that makes sense. So these fields confuse the heck out of me. They're not intended. The join tables themselves don't have names that I would recognize from real joins table.
The field names is lengthy.
It's pretty strange, the names that it
Yeah.
creates, and the ID names of the fields when you have like the primary key. The primary key, usually in Rails you have like underscore, you have something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with the Workbench, the ID came here. So it was ID address. And I said, come on. So I started moving things around. Some of them I changed, but then when I went to my third table, I said, okay, I'm just going to put the tables here, and then I'm going to review everything and remove the fields that are not supposed to be here.
How did those table names come about? If you can just scroll up a little bit, that one, addresses, has companies, has job developers. Where did that table name come from? Did the Workbench create that table name?
Yep. So
wow.
Basically, if you create a many-to-many table, a many-to-many relation.
Based on our model, we can create the database table. The model has properties. Based on the properties, create the table.
Sorry?
We have models, and the model we have properties.
Mm-hmm.
Based on the properties, we can create the database tables.
Yes.
Model first and code first. In other technology, not the Ruby and right.
Oh. Okay.
Can I?
This name of the table comes from here. It is a many-to-many relationship between the job developers and the company's addresses.
Mm-hmm.
So it has its addresses as companies as a relation with job seekers. That is this table. So basically, it places an as between many-to-many relationship.
Okay, so we'll fix all that.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to ask you, and again, I haven't spent a lot of time with this schema yet. Why do you have both employers and businesses? Why are there two different entities?
Businesses, companies?
Excuse me, companies. Yeah, employers and companies. Why two different things there?
Um, yeah. Why? It's a good question. I don't know why. Let me think about it.
We certainly need
Okay, I know.
employers
Because
for.
you can have multiple persons that work for the same company in the system. So you need to have an employer that is a user. This one will be created with the user, okay?
Oh,
And the
employer.
company, it's a company.
Would
And the
that mean
company,
that employers are that should be employees, that entity, not employers? Because that represents people, real people.
yeah,
Okay, so that's employees.
employees.
Okay, that makes sense. Got it. All right. Um, can I show you guys something really quickly on my?
Yep.
Yeah, let me see if. So this is. Can you guys see this? Okay, it's it's a very simple ERD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this was for a project that I worked on, and it's the schema eventually became more complex, but it was at least a start to represent initial entities as reflected in our models. And what I'd like to do, if we can, and we're going to have a busy ERD queue up, but for instance, menu items is a principal entity, and in this model it has many menus, or it belongs to many menus.
I'm sorry, I'm not following. Can you?
Well, I'm just showing you an example for.
Yes, I know, but can you highlight it with a mouse? I'm not sure where you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. So menu items
Okay, okay, okay,
has and belongs to many menus.
okay.
Here's the associated object here, associated model. And then I would show the typical association table here. And I would note that this is an association table not represented as a model, and so it has no primary key. I do have a primary key here. That's a principal model, principal entity, as well as here.
Okay.
So I think this kind of annotation, what I'm getting at, this kind of description, if you will, as part of the ERD allows us to look at the ERD and relate to the models and the associations very easily. And we also have association tables, which, as we know, we have to create, and Rails require them to be there, but they're not models. So they don't have their own ID, that kind of thing. So, we found this to be very easy to look at and relate to the model, and make sure that they're in alignment. That's really all I wanted to. So if we can kind of do that, when we build the ERD, if we have space, we've got a lot of entities there. It might be useful.
Yeah.
And if you have,
We can do it.
yeah, you have, has many menus through, and so you have through tables as well because you put in something in the association table, and that obviously would be represented as well. But anyway, what I can do is I can start helping you clean up that MySQL workbench. Now that you describe what happened, I know I know what it did to us.
Yeah.
And as I go along, I'll probably try to annotate your models on the ERD with this kind of stuff to reflect what you put into your model code.
Okay.
And I think that'll help me get up to speed on your models in your ERD really quickly.
This is the takeaway things are project, right?
Sorry?
Is this one takeaway or something like that? Project is there in our.
It's called Take Me Away.
Yeah.
Yep.
I read the description of the project based on that one. Menus and menu items. I'm thinking it's they belong to that project.
Yeah, and this database schema is much simpler than what we're going to end up when we build our system. There's no doubt about it. But
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, that's pretty much it for what I wanted to show there.
Okay. Yeah. It was Saturday morning, and I said, okay, let me do something here. So That's what happened. I downloaded the application and started. As you can see, there are some inconsistencies around, especially in the relationships. You see, there are some that are full, some are dotted.
Yeah.
So basically, I just spammed relationships between them to try to get more or less a full model here, or at least the nearest to full.
Yep. Yep.
So.
Well, this will be a good exercise. We'll learn about your models by going through this ERD.
Yeah. This will. There are some areas that I didn't explore much, especially this part of the alarms.
Okay.
And the agencies part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this relationship is enough here between the users and the agencies, or if we will need to have a bigger agency relationship with the companies and maybe the jobs, or if we can do everything through the job developers and through the employees. So that's something that we need to analyze here as well.
Yeah, those are good questions. I can't help until I've really dived in and tried to build the ERD or review the ERD in light of your models. And if you don't mind, I'll just start editing your MySQL Workbench doc and reposting it as I make changes.
Reposted it?
Repost it?
I'm not sure if you can.
Oh, is that your own Dropbox over there that you're pulling? Okay. Well, that's okay. I'll put it somewhere. Maybe we could actually throw it in the GitHub.
Yeah. Maybe we can do that. Maybe we can use this tracker project or something.
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe it'll add some value.
Yeah. So you can just put it there. Yeah, it's easier. Because I didn't know where to put it because we don't have currently any place where we can put this. I believe it's through Agile Ventures.
There's nothing on Agile Ventures that allow you to store files that I've seen. Yeah.
I believe it assumes that you just have like some sort of Dropbox or Drive or whatever it's called, the one from Microsoft, to do it for you. To start and just share the link. So okay.
It's the wiki docs that scare me because there's no versioning behind there. Anything that using the Mercury editor.
Oh, it has here these revisions.
They're not stored anywhere. Yeah, it's just a log of who changed when. It isn't even who changed what. It's just something changed on that date. Oh, that's a lot of help.
And it just says the date. It doesn't say the hour or anything. So we had 2 changes on 5 days ago.
Yep.
Okay. So another thing, I was thinking in creating and adding some more complexity to our waffle pipeline because I think it's too simple, and so I think we're missing here like 2 swim lanes. One swim lane for the I don't know how to call it. I'm going to consider that later. So I was thinking creating here a swim lane in this part that is like a staging swim lane that we could pick up the tasks to show the client on client meetings. So it would be stored there when we merge the development branch. And I was thinking creating maybe here another swim lane.
Development and staging, something like that.
Sorry?
You were talking about development and staging, whatever we did, we move into the staging.
Yes, I was thinking in putting between in progress and done
Okay.
staging swim lane.
Okay.
That we would move the tasks when they are merged into develop, so they
Yeah.
are in a pre-state to show the client, so it's easier on the client meetings to just show those.
Okay.
And I was thinking to have a swim lane, maybe move this wait to client to the backlog. Not sure if that's possible, but having here between the wait client and ready, uh, ice blocks.
Maybe. What is the staging swim lane for again?
Um, this done swim lane, I believe it will disappear. The tasks that are moved into done will disappear after 2 weeks from Waffle, or 1 week.
Uh-huh.
So we would lose track of them, and when we are presenting to the client, we'd have an issue. We needed to go back and look into all the things. So I was thinking of creating something here that would allow us to store all the finished tasks that are
Yeah.
merged into development branch,
Mm-hmm.
and that can be shown to the client.
So like a pending acceptance type
Yeah,
of status?
basically
Yep.
it's this status here.
Yeah, got it.
So I was thinking creating this and maybe create a real backlog and have the backlog as an icebox.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
it allows us to move a little bit back and forth, because the other option that I see here, that I'm not sure how it will work, is if we start having milestones and create or epics or milestones to create the sprints.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
not 100% sure how to do that yet, or if to even. So I'm not sure what you guys think. Do you think we should
Okay.
go to swim lanes, or we should try to look into the milestones and everything?
I think GitHub has the milestones also.
Yeah, GitHub. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It has those milestones and has
Yeah.
labels and has.
Yeah. Yesterday I reviewed all those things.
So
So we would represent each sprint as a milestone, for instance?
yeah,
Hmm.
maybe we could
That
do
might
that.
work. That
But
might work.
I'm not sure how do we get it here afterwards, because from GitHub we have like this interface that we can just access all the tasks that are in the current milestone.
Mm-hmm.
But from Waffle, I'm not sure how to do that.
Can you filter on milestone in Waffle? Up there in the, if you click on the pull-down list under the filter, there's milestone filter. Maybe that's. So everything goes in the backlog, but we look at
No,
sprint by filtering
according to
on
this,
filter.
maybe we can have something. I'm not sure. Yeah, maybe we can try to use milestones. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like it's not going to work to put in each milestone in its own swim lane, but
maybe we can do that. So we can create a milestone for. Okay, so I think we can manage for now.
Yeah, it's not as clean as
maybe,
PT, but it'll work.
yeah.
Yep.
Maybe we can create something like the next sprint as well. Can create the next like sprint 02. We'll fill this up. We should have a client's meeting of a client's developer meeting or something to try to think a little bit about the sprint. We should do that. So I already created the second milestone. It's sprint 2, and we can when we see things, we can just, instead of creating the swim lane between waiting client and ready, we can just assign things to sprint 2, and it will be like the preparation of the next sprint, maybe.
Yep.
Because I don't like very much this organization that if we start having swim lanes in here, we'll lose everything. We cannot see anything here. So
you say after 2 weeks these things go away?
I think after 1 week the things that are complete will disappear from here.
And how does it know they're complete? Is there a status? I forget. Is there a specific status?
Yep.
Is done just a swim lane you stuck them in?
So basically,
the actual status. Wow.
In Waffle, you have like 3 places where a task can be. It can be in the backlog, it can be in progress, or it can be complete. If it's complete, so basically it's the done, and it looks for the closed ones. This is an example. We change to closed.
I see. Yep.
It considers the task done and is passed it into complete.
And you can't make up your own swim lanes with different titles? These are the 5. These are the only 5 you've got?
I added this one. So
you added that.
The vanilla version has a backlog, a ready, in progress, and a done.
Oh, and you can add swim lanes so that add column.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I believe it will be very crowded here if you start adding swim lanes here. When I added this one, I just said, okay, let me add this one. And I believe it's too much.
Yep.
I will remove it and add like a milestone for the waiting on client questions, because we will not use this swim lane at all, at least for now.
Hua, I know you've got to leave soon, and I do too, but I'm wondering if I could suggest that for tomorrow we focus on going through the models code, and you can explain to us your thinking behind that, and maybe we can confirm that it's aligned with what we've learned about the interactions.
Okay.
And then maybe if we get through that, we can start looking at the ERD as well. If I have time, I'll start editing your ERD doc, see if we can fix some of those MySQL anomalies that showed up there. But I think that would be a good start. I mean, the model is the heart of the thing, right?
Yes.
So basically, do you want tomorrow to look into the model, or to look into?
What I'd like to do is get to know your models really well before diving into the ERD, because ERD follows the model design. It doesn't lead it, right?
Okay, so basically, I can tell you just I can tell you that basically the tables that are here that we currently have models for are users, job seekers, seeker status, companies, addresses, and jobs. And I'm not 100% sure if jobs is completely as it is now, but basically that's it.
Yeah. So you've got what, 6 or 7 or 8 models you've defined, and there's a lot of code in some of those, and you've got some associations between models. I think some of the associations we have to look at carefully to make sure they're consistent with the interactions doc that we've developed. They probably are, but I think that would be good, at least for me. Maybe people have different opinion. I'd like to understand a little bit more deeply the models you've already created. It won't take us long, and then start in the ERD.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do that.
And then maybe tomorrow or the day after we'll be in a good position to start populating Sprint 01. in Sprint 02.
So, as a homework for today,
Right.
if you'd like, you can take a look into the models that we currently have. The names of the tables probably are the same that we have here.
In the, yeah, do that.
And that's it. If you guys want to take a look to more or less prepare tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll try to go through all of the models and see what we have now and what changes do we have comparing the things that we have here. So I see we're missing things here. We're missing a table or not. Skill level. Oh, this is just a support table. Yeah, because there's another thing that I'm not sure about. In here, if we should use enums from Ruby, or if we should store everything into the database, like this skill level thing.
Yeah, so those are good questions that'll come up. And if we can fix your employer model, it should be employee model, I guess, since it really is a person, represents people.
Yeah.
But things like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You can change everything up. Is there a portable version of this?
Not that I'm aware of. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because if not, I'm not going to be able to do anything, which is nice. Because I don't have admin. Maybe I don't need admin.
You don't have what? Sorry?
I don't have admin on my computer.
You mean you don't have the workbench on your computer there?
Not in this one. I have in mine, but in this particular laptop, no, I don't. So,
well, yeah, probably not allowed to do that on your employer's laptop, huh? Yeah, they wouldn't know. What are they going to know? I don't want to get you into trouble.
Okay, so I'll try to start this. Okay, any more questions or something?
Not from me.
No.
Nope.
Nope.
I'll try to add something here. I felt like we have the documents directory in this import code. No, not import code. So I'm going to try to upload this today. The ERV into the tracker project.
Oh, great.
We will see. We'll talk tomorrow. Okay.
Sounds good.
Any more questions?
Nope.
Okay then. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Hope you feel better.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.